Welcome back to the Nice and Cozy podcast. Podcast by the people, for the people. Back here with Cam.
And Khalil, man, what's going on? Appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a lot of positive feedback from that very first episode, so that was like really assuring to hear for us. Much appreciated to like everybody who reposted it, supported it, like the real all, you know what I'm saying, all of it. But yeah, like for the most part, this has been a project in itself. I feel like me and Cam been putting in like, when I say hours, it's like actual like hours. You know what I'm saying?
Get an hour of daylight,
literally,
a bunch of sleep,
literally. But yeah, man, it's been. I mean, we only have one episode out, and the work that went into that first one, the audio editing, the video editing, trying to get people excited about the episode or whatever the case. Like it was. It was definitely a process, but it was something that I feel like I feel like I can speak for me and Cam when like it was a creative like outlet, and it still is that. It still is that. I'm sure Cam, you know what I'm saying, he has something to say on that matter too.
No, I have a lot to say with sharing this out. I appreciate the people that did share it. I appreciate all the people that liked the video, all the people that commented, all the people that subscribed. 40 subscribers already when we're recording right now.
Yeah.
And I hope that just continues to grow. Road to what, 5,000?
Something like that, bro.
No, it's so funny to even be able to say that.
I know. It's crazy.
Seeing it so much on like other people. 200 views right now. That's it's small. It's not as big as others, but it's still huge for a first video.
It's a huge win for us.
So anything, if we got like 10, I was gonna be happy. I'm not gonna lie. Like in a real
way.
In a real way though.
No, but truthfully though,
I was so excited to see that. So for anybody who sees this, you might as well press that subscribe button right now if you haven't.
Might as well.
You might as well like the video already because you know this is about to be a good video. You might as well send it to a friend. Follow the Instagram, send it to a friend.
Yes,
tell them these guys are really talking on here. And wherever you're at, whether you're at work, whether you're at home, honestly, just comment where you are right now.
Man, let us know.
Let us know where you're getting all nice and cozy.
Yes, sir, man.
Let us know where you're getting nice and cozy.
Yes, sir, man. I think this is a great podcast to listen to when you're nice and cozy. In the bed, we got a lot of intellectual conversations going on. We really just let it flow in here. Like for the most part, we try to like walk in with like an outline. But a lot of the like best conversations come naturally also. And also like, me and Cam get together and always have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
With that being said, man.
Talk about.
Yes, sir. That being said, man, what's going on? How's your day been?
It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie. Pick classes and everything today.
Yes, sir.
Picking classes is something. And this is the first time though, if you're a Loyola student, when you sign into Locus, you don't know if you're going to get any type of classes that you want. I got all 6 classes that I wanted.
Hey, Godspeed to that, man.
I was in class choosing. Almost jumped up.
Nah, truthfully, like, yeah.
6 for 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rare. That's rare, for sure. I'm not going to lie. Especially, like, given, like, being, like, I remember, like, being an underclassman and, like, upperclassmen get priority for classes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, now that I am an upperclassman, I don't really have to worry about that, but I definitely remember being in that situation because a lot of the classes that I'm taking right now, they're all seniors, so you know what I mean. But yeah, bro, shout out to that for sure, man, because it can be hectic picking your schedule, man, especially when you don't really know what like the next semester is gonna look like for the most part. If you got a job, transportation, whatever. But yeah, I feel like one of our prominent topics in the first episode was definitely student life.
Yeah.
And the things that like we go through as peers, like all the things that we can relate to. That's why I feel like it was just like it's really a good conversation starter to like just really just ask you how your day has been. I feel like like I said, I was telling Cam that we typically record in the evening, so a lot can happen between when we open our eyes in the morning and when we step into the studio. But yeah, like You said your day was smooth.
It's always a rainy day too when we check in here.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah,
Isn't
but
that something?
let me know. Let me know how your day was going. What's going on with you, man?
Well, my day's been okay. My day's been okay. I went to go see a friend. I went to go see my homie over at UIC. We just kicked it for a little bit. We actually studied over there. That was like my early afternoon, and then he got up with his girl, I believe, and then I came back because I still had a paper to finish. So like literally, my day is mostly consisted of just homework before I walked into here. Yeah, man. Right now, I'm going through 3 group projects, guys. Like when I tell you, my group members also, for the most part, they've been like super helpful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I just kind of just hate group projects altogether. I feel like I can speak for a lot of people when I say that it can be stressful. Also, trying to like find out the times and such, like when to meet with this group for this class at this time, and vice versa. But the 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 road is almost over, guys. What is it? April 9th?
April, yeah, it's April
Yeah,
9th.
yeah.
What
Like
you got? 3 more weeks? 2 more weeks, basically?
something like that. Two and a half, 3 weeks. It's crazy. I actually walked the stage in exactly a month, May 9th. So isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. That's insane. Time flies, guys. Time flies. I feel like that was something we also mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
You know how quickly things can move. Even not even as necessarily just as a student, but like as a young adult overall. I feel like once I turned 18, everything has been in fast forward, bro.
I feel like since like 16, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe it was when I started driving. Maybe it was that.
It could be.
But it's that like this year was quick. And this is my sophomore year, so I feel like freshman year fall was like longer. Freshman year spring picked up.
For sure.
This year I was like, I just got back here and now I'm already about to go home again.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't even imagine what's something you would say for your like in your 4 years. What was your like memorable or like special moments that you're gonna take with you? Because now you OG, you're going into
Bro, am I unk? Am I like unk status? Like,
to
I feel like
me. No, I'm not gonna age myself over here on this podcast because everybody listening gonna be like, oh, nah, he's
yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
So I am unk status.
You going into the real world now. You going into real life.
That's facts. That's facts.
You've completed 4 years of college, and that's like what?
Yeah.
You've done 20 years of school. No, 16 years of school.
16 years.
16 years of school.
That's an interesting way to think about it. That's an interesting way to think about it because people really
My
only think
math
about 1
was
through
crazy
12.
there.
Yeah,
Said
it was.
20.
It low key was. I feel like, honestly, bro, that's a good question because I just asked you like, am I unk status? And you the question prior when you were like, what's like some of your like memorable moments?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question. But like it's gonna sound like really cliche, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss going to the library. Like if you like one of my homies out there, like you guys know that I really enjoy library. Like I just enjoy libraries. Like even if I don't have anything to do, just the peace and quiet.
Yeah.
We also have like one of the best library I feel like in Chicago as far as like scenery goes.
Yeah, our library is beautiful. Well, the IC, it's even our library. Our library is really nice. It's like I remember stepping in there, and it's so many different like little parts too that people don't even see or like know about.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I just kind of want to go in there and just like look at what books they got in there.
For sure, bro.
Even though it's more of a place just to study for me, but they got everything, every single resource. I know everything's so technological these days, but it has everything. And then to have the IC, which is like, you can see it's more technologically advanced, and it stands out too on our campus because everything's like, everything's like brick around our campus, brick walkways and stuff. But you got this full glass building right by the lake.
Yeah, it's a crazy structure. I remember like maybe like my sophomore year, probably just glimpsing at an article about the architecture of the IC and how it was like voted like top 10 in libraries or whatever, you know what I mean? Just as far as like I said, scenery goes. But yeah, circling back on your question, bro, going to library is gonna be like literally one of the. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be back for grad school,
Yeah.
but maybe it'll feel different as a grad student rather than undergrad. Like
Yeah.
going to the library, just the feel. I feel like the feel of going to classes. I've been told that grad school is, it's a little different. It can be like a lot more asynchronous. You're not taking as many classes, so it's
Yeah.
like really like devoted onto like yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just getting that feel like undergrad classes. I'm definitely gonna miss like, man, the dining hall come in clutch sometimes
Yeah.
when you don't. I know I may not have a meal plan like going to grad school, stuff like that. Stuff like that is like really what I'm gonna miss. What else? What else?
I'm off meal plan next year. I'm probably
Yeah,
like
yeah.
80% sure I'm off meal plan, and I'm be cooking though.
Yeah,
No, you don't even know. Like, I genuinely like to cook.
yeah. So do I.
I got all those IG recipes. If anybody got recipes, send them to me,
Man.
cause I need stuff to cook. There's
Yeah,
definitely
bro.
stuff like meal prep throughout the week.
That's a so that's actually like a great segue into a question I wanted to ask you today.
What's up?
As far as like how important nutrition goes, the question was, how important is nutrition to you for functioning at your highest self?
Yeah,
Isn't that like, I feel like that's a great aspect, like I've been thinking about it a lot. So
I literally was thinking about this because even when I'm food wise, here it's like we have options for food and stuff, but the consistent like this is what I get. I'm not the best with like getting the right thing. I'll eat burgers way too much here in the dining hall,
for sure,
but like burgers, fries, tenders.
yeah, it's
But
reliable.
when I started, we have like the dining, like the food court. Food court had this pasta. When I was eating this pasta, it was like I was feeling good, drinking a lot of water too. I used to not drink a lot of water at all, I would say.
Yeah,
I was more just kind of like would go through. I don't know how I got through it like that. I'm not even gonna lie. But now I carry my water bottle everywhere with me.
yeah,
Like, and it's a big old water bottle too. But I just started that this year, and I would say I definitely have a lot more energy than I did beforehand. I take vitamins in the morning, like Jenny, like those every day. And I
Yeah.
didn't think about it when I was younger, because when I was younger, you used to have those like
yeah,
those Flintstone vitamins,
for sure, for
the
sure.
little small ones. But
Yeah,
now it's like, okay, I still got to take care of myself, and I got sick earlier this year too.
yeah,
If I didn't get sick, I wouldn't have really locked in on like
Yeah.
taking care of myself.
that's such a
'Cause
fact.
when I got sick, dude, I'd never been this sick while I'm here.
Yeah,
At least I look, you felt like invincible freshman year. I didn't get sick at all. I was like, what is this?
yeah,
But
for sure.
early this semester, I got so sick, and I was like, couldn't even go out the dorm for. I went to my first class that I went to when I realized it was bad. I almost fainted in that class. I was like,
Yeah,
getting lightheaded and stuff, and I was just head down. I literally had to leave class early. I was like, never thought that would happen. But I was in bed, just like out of it, sweating for no reason.
Body
I was
aches,
like,
probably.
yeah. Went to the doctor. They were like, "You're so dehydrated. First of all, you got other stuff going on, but you're dehydrated, so you can't even get better like that." So, finally started drinking more water. That stuff helped me out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. It could be literally something as simple as that. I feel like that's a great breakdown of how important nutrition is, bro. Like, I sit on here and I talk about nutrition too, but like, I have not had a full meal today. Like,
no, recently it's been bad for me too.
yeah, like, but yeah, it was like, as we mentioned, like from the first episode, we try to like prepare questions that the other one isn't necessarily, prepared to answer, just so we can get like an authentic conversation feel. But I 100% agree. You said something that was like super insightful, and it's just like really, it comes with like time and age and realization on how important, like shit like that is. So, for example, you said when you were younger, like you didn't really drink water, and it was just because like you didn't really understand how important it was for like brain function. And I can say the same, like, obviously, like I would drink water, but like I was quick to grab a juice or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You a soda. I love
Yeah,
soda.
yeah. It's a couple sodas I like. I only drink 2 sodas. It's Dr. Pepper and Baja Blast.
See, this is why you my boy.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm telling you, like
People don't. I was just talking about Dr. Pepper the other day.
Yeah, my roommate loves Dr. Pepper, so I gotta keep
I feel like
my
there's
room
no in
stocked.
between.
Yeah,
It's
for
either
sure.
you like Dr. Pepper a lot or you just kind of never liked it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Dr. Pepper's mine.
I had a nice Dr. Pepper last night. But circling back to the topic of nutrition is like I've been trying to cook more, trying to take advantage of the full kitchen that my dorm has. But like it can be tough, bro, especially with everything being so like everything like when I say like fast food, they're like quick to grab your attention. We talk about like the psychological aspect of it and
Yeah.
how easy it is to just go and get something quick,
Yeah.
go and get quick McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
But like you also have to understand like the aftermath of that and how it makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? So like when I eat fast food, bro, I literally don't want to get out the bed. Once you finish that meal, you feel the grease and you feel like just like all the processed food taking over like the physical motivation you once had before you ate it. You know what I'm saying? And you make that mistake every time. Like, and I'm gonna make that mistake again. But
You know what I think as well?
what's up?
Like what I started doing in terms of like fast food, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got fast food when I felt like I was like deserving of it at a point. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And even the fast food I would get, it's not like I don't get McDonald's like that anymore. I used to love McDonald's.
Yeah,
ain't gonna
I
lie.
love
I
McDonald's.
used to love Taco Bell.
I love
But
Taco Bell too.
the fast food I get now is like Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
But I started doing it where I was like, okay, you did a lot this week. You did a good job this week. Like
Yeah.
you deserve a little.
Yeah.
It started being like a chocolate thing or like a candy thing. Like
For sure.
okay, you earned this right here, so go ahead and you can have it now.
Yeah.
But I would say definitely like taking care of yourself is so important.
Physically.
Especially for like not just for you but those who care about you. Taking care of yourself is like it's something that people will be grateful for down the line. I would say
Yeah.
it's like if you take care of yourself now, later you don't want other people taking care of you like that.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's gonna take care of somebody at a certain point when you get older and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like when you're like middle age and it's things like that. It's things that you could have did better.
For sure.
So it's like taking that serious now, especially like for those who are like younger, like same age as us. There's certain things health wise where it's like you don't have to do this. Whether it's like I don't know if you want to talk about this at all, but like whether it's things like you see those like nicotine commercials.
Yeah.
Like those are things where it's you don't have to do this when you're this age.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
it's definitely like other options. You know what I mean? There's healthier options. There's things that are like
There's healthier habits.
yeah.
For sure, bro. I definitely agree with you. Like, and then it's like with a lot of like young adults, like, bro, like we all subject to it, guys. At least not all of us. Cam is actually like a role model to me. I'm not gonna lie in that aspect. Like Cam does nothing. So you know what I'm saying? He's literally like he's a great upstanding young man, bro. I can say that about this dude for real.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, like like going back to like those commercials and shit that we see every single day, it's almost like it's so tempting. We're not necessarily even giving our attention. They're taking it, in a sense. And it's like, and that can be an aspect that's different for like person to person. Like, for example, like myself and you, like you have no urge to do that shit. And like, I got respect for it, cause it's hard to do in a sense, but regardless, it's like, when it comes to nutrition, bro, like I'm not gonna lie, this literally today, what I had for breakfast, I had a iced tea lemonade and a bag of chips, and that's genuinely the only food I've ate today. So we can sit here and like I can sit here and preach about nutrition, but it can always be difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like as I mentioned before, like it was just a long day, so finding the time to like cook and make you a meal can be difficult. But it all comes with like. I want to circle back. It all comes back to like practicing these skills as such. Like if I'm practicing these skills, like you said, we're young adults now, and practicing like meal prepping, going to the gym, you know what I'm saying, working out. Those are skills that get sharpened over time, but it comes with like consistency and responsibility, like holding yourself accountable. Whether it be a meal, whether it be going to the gym. But for sure, like I couldn't agree more, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. There's so much more productive things we could be doing with our time. For example, like, you know what I'm saying, something like this, a podcast, read a book, do something like that'll stimulate.
Wholesome.
Yeah, stimulate your mind in a different way. But shit, like it can be tough though. It can be tough. Like
Definitely.
I noticed that I try to like distract myself from a lot of the responsibilities that I have going on too. So like I like game a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I'm probably still gonna game for the rest of my life.
Of course.
But it's like it's really just on some like holding yourself accountable and figuring out the balance and stuff. Mentioning what you said. When you say like after you go a week of like not eating out at all, you go to the gym, you get your homework done, you feel good about yourself and you want to reward, you know what I'm saying? You want to reward said feeling. And that's where like that balance comes in. That's the skill overall. That's like the foundational skill that you have to get better at, the balance and, you know what I'm saying, work and play. Yeah, bro.
One thing about like staying consistent, I guess, with things like that. Like shout out to my roommate. My roommate past 2 years. This dude is the one that got me into the gym. Like right when things all like started, when we got into high school, well, not high school, when we got into college.
Yeah.
And it's those first 2 weeks of going where you go, you're like, okay, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And then I even saw this somewhere else too. That third week, you're like, man, I just went these past 2 weeks. Like,
I can chill for a little bit.
Do I got to continue doing this? Like, I can come back the week after and I'll be good, or come back even the second you break that cycle of doing things. It's so hard to like come back and say like, oh, I'm gonna be so consistent with this.
For sure.
Because literally though, if you say you do something for a month straight, you're more likely to start doing that more consistently.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's become, when you gotta get to the point where something's like in your schedule to where it's okay, I gotta do this.
It's kind of like it feels wrong when you don't do it.
Yeah.
Something in your brain like programs you to say like, shouldn't you be doing this after a while? After a while.
Until you get to that point, I feel like you can't say, you got to really force yourself to like get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because even with this, like us doing this, it's not that we didn't want to do it or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's not a part of my schedule yet to be like, oh, I got to get to this at this time.
Yeah.
But it's something I still want to do. So it's like making sure I'm here for this. And then like week after I'm here for that, making time to like edit, things like that. It's
absolutely
having that time to do that and making sure you give yourself that time to do that and making it a priority when you're first starting it. It's like, it'll really help you out, I feel like, in the long run. And that goes with a whole bunch of other things that we were saying with like nutrition and staying healthy and doing things best for you.
Yeah.
You have to get to the point where it's comfortable and it's stuck in your brain, basically, that this is
For sure.
This is something that I'm doing. This is a part of my life. This isn't something I'm just doing. This is something that's actually a part of my life. It's something that I'm actually doing consistently. And I think that's huge. I think that's huge for stuff like this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, bro. I couldn't agree more, because there are days where like you're gonna be like super enthusiastic about it. You're gonna be super excited to do it, and then there are gonna be other days where you're gonna have 2 or 3 things else on your plate that you feel like you have to prioritize.
Yeah.
And then that's where the balance comes in. That's where you got to figure out like, okay, well, you know, I do this certain amount of work that I need to do, whether it be like homework, you know what I'm saying? I give myself grace, I give myself time to exit that mental mode and enter like the creative space in our brain that we use to like do something like this. You know what I'm saying? And that takes time, bro. Like you can't really like lock out and lock back in. Like we got like there's the meme going around and say like lock in, bro.
Yeah.
And bro, like that can be tough, you know what I'm saying? It may take like, at least for me, I know that like I'll sit around for maybe like 10-15 minutes before I actually have to do what I have to start doing.
Yeah.
And that's a habit that I feel like I've been trying to break for so long. I've definitely gotten better at it. It kind of relates to the idea of like procrastination, but it's a little different. It's like hesitation, you know what I'm saying? They synonyms, you know, but it's just a matter of like me asking myself, what's stopping me from doing the things that I need to do? Because once you do the things you need to do, that gives you balance to do the things that you want to do, your creative space, you know what I'm saying, your you know what I'm saying, your peace or whatever that looks like to you. And Separating, I feel like me
Yeah.
separating work from comfort has separating work and comfort has been like a key in terms of like this semester. So like obviously like I live in downtown dorm, so having to travel to class can be
Yeah.
like an interesting aspect for me. It can be like it can help at times, you know what I'm saying? Because once I go to main campus, I know I have 4 classes to do, and I know that like once I leave that said campus, like mentally as a student, it's hard to lock back in.
Yeah.
So after those classes, I'll stay at the library for 3 or 4 hours and do the things that I feel like I want to do after doing the things that I need to do, which is going to class. And that's where the balance comes in. I've noticed that like something like this, like a project, like a podcast or a website has been giving me like internal purpose versus
Yeah.
just a deadline. You know what I'm saying? And it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But bro, when we uploaded that first episode of
Yeah.
the podcast, and then people started giving us feedback and people started like telling us how much they like the conversation,
Yeah.
like along with like the internal satisfaction that I get from doing something that I've always wanted to do, it feels that much better to know that you're like putting something positive out into the world that somebody's enjoying. You being your
Definitely.
like, you know what I'm saying? You being your genuine self, and you know what I'm saying? You speaking from the heart, and people are taking it. Like that's a beauty in itself to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would really like to know like how is it you separate work from comfort? I feel like my commute really helps, and like I said, not coming home right away sometimes helps. But
Yeah.
how you feel about you?
When with like work and comfort, I guess right now with a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, it's like whether it's internship or like schoolwork, a lot of it I get through it by just knowing like this is what I got to do. I know that there will be time to relax. That's something that I was always like taught. There's gonna be a time where you got to work hard, and there's time where you can relax. Those times will come.
Yeah,
So
it's a great point.
it's like a work hard now, so later you can be okay. Whether it's I listen to music too. Music be helping.
Yeah,
Music will completely just like get me in a zone where I'm just doing stuff.
yeah,
But I would say one thing, because I'm not perfect with the work comfort balance, so it's kind of hard for me to like say, oh, this is what you got to do with that. Because I definitely just get in the mode where I'm just like, all right, I got to do this, do that, and I'm gonna get it all done. And after that, do I have time to like go have fun? Do I have time to like relax or anything like that? I don't know, because and I can't. Yeah, especially the past 2 weeks, I've been really trying to do stuff,
yeah,
but I will say when it comes to certain things of like that don't feel like work, like this doesn't feel like work. Working hard at it, but it doesn't feel like work.
yeah,
So I have schoolwork and even the internship. Internship feels like I'm working, doing what they asked me to do, but I'm still like having fun while doing it. I'm still talking to people. I'm getting to know the people at the job and everything
sure.
like that.
For
So
sure.
it's certain things where if you can treat it or take it into perspective where it doesn't have to feel like a whole bunch of work, then do that. Change your outlook on it.
Your perspective.
Change your perspective. Make it something fun. Make it something you enjoy doing. Take some part of it where it's like, okay, I can enjoy this part of this.
Yeah,
Like I can enjoy talking to my coworker. I can enjoy talking to my classmate. I got this classmate in this class that I enjoy seeing every day. I'm gonna come to this class 'cause I want to see them.
yeah,
I'm gonna learn something, but I'm going to this class. I want to see them.
yeah.
I want to hang out with them.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk after class, and we learned something today. So it's just making those things that feel like work not work, so when you're like out of it, you don't feel super stressed out, or you don't feel like, oh, I've been working all day.
Yeah,
But also still making those times where, hey, I don't have to do this right now.
Yeah.
Like, go have fun with your friends. Go do that. Go play basketball with your friends. Go run with your friends. Go chill and literally just talk with your friends.
literally.
There was definitely plenty of times where it's like late night, my friends will come over to the dorm, we'll just talk. I'll go to my friend's dorm, we'll talk, watch a game. And those times you can't take for granted. Having those times where it's like, oh, I've been very stressed out, and you're like, oh, what do I do now? Like, what's the next move?
For sure.
Enjoy those times where you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, don't take those for granted, because it's, especially at this time at our life right now, it's it's a weird time. You want to figure out we're figuring out what we want to do with our lives, basically. So it's not a time to be played with, but yeah, definitely just relax, have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You just dropped a gem on me. Like I couldn't. I couldn't necessarily put a phrase on it, but Cam said, try and make the things that feel like work don't feel like work, or not feel like work, or the things that you need to do not feel like work. And I feel like that itself is like just that statement has really like helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm starting to put a lot of things in perspective, and I'm starting to like think about all the things that I feel like I don't enjoy to do. For example, like going to work, going to class. But you said that finding the little things, like finding the joy in the things that, you know what I'm saying, give you discomfort. And then I started thinking about a bunch of the situations, the class that I don't like going to, my philosophy class, bro. We done talked about this class so many times, bro. Like, I don't like this class, and I love philosophy. So it's like, it's kind of like a dilemma within myself, it's not necessarily the philosophy itself. It's kind of just, I feel like it's pointless, a lot of the things that we've been learning, but whatever, bro. I hate going to this class, but with when it comes to finding the joy in the things that you don't like, there's something as simple as like you said, bro. You come to class because like let's say it's like a homie that you can like have a good conversation with, y'all can laugh or whatever, just to make the time go by. And one thing I really like doing in this class, like while listening to lectures, I like play this little game, 2048. Y'all probably know what 2048 is.
So like that at 2048,
bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope you understand. Hey, no. I'm about to really drop a gem on y'all. If you play 2048, I'm about to drop a gem on you, and you're gonna win like 80% of the time.
Man, let me know.
I'm about to drop a gem right now. Like you was talking about a gem before. This is real. No, bro. But if you keep the highest number, I keep the highest number in the top right, but you keep it in the top left. You keep the highest number in the top right, and then try to have it in a row where it's like the highest number, the second highest number, third highest number, lowest number.
Yeah.
Never press down. You don't let them numbers go down. You go left, right, wherever, but you get those four stuck at the top. Then you just go up. You go left, right, and you just like
You're cheating, bro.
Keep going up into the corner. It's almost a guaranteed lock for 2048 until if they make you go down, you press down once and you shoot that thing right back up.
Right.
That's exactly what you gotta do.
Yeah, I've been low-key feeling like, because I've been playing this game the past maybe 3-4 months in this class, just this class. Because like I knew about the game, but the class is so boring that I need something to do while he's lecturing.
Yeah.
So I figured out like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like playing 2048 while he talks, and one of these days, I was in class just like playing 2048, bro. Obviously, finding the joy and the discomfort that this class brings me, like you were saying. And I had got an email about a scholarship for grad school. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not doing nothing in this class. You know what I'm saying? He's lecturing. I usually go over the lectures by myself, just because like his voice can be monotonous at times. But yeah, like you know what I'm saying? I usually go over the material myself, but while I'm sitting in this class, I had this email come through, and I'm like, if I'm not gonna listen to what my professor has to say, the least I could do is take a look at this scholarship. So honestly, I looked at it. I realized that I had the qualifications for it. I applied for it right then and there, and that right there in itself gave me like the little satisfaction to know that I was doing something. I was also in class at a class that I didn't want to go to. Took all the energy in me to go, but regardless, like a pat on the back to myself for going, period.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking about the aspect of like, had I not gone to that class and like not listened to what, listening to what he was saying or playing my game, I would not seen that email.
Would you even been on your computer?
I would have been on my computer. You know what I'm saying? Would I have seen that email? We get like 20 emails a day as a student. So it's like it could have got lost in the inbox or whatever the case, but that's not what that situation had turned into,
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's like literally like you said, bro, finding the joy and trying a little joy in the things that bring you discomfort, or the things that you don't like, the things that feel like work, was a real eye opener for me, bro. Yeah. So
I feel like, well, one with like classes and like you were just saying, I feel like I get so much done of other classwork in classes that I don't really want to be in.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's just like that time. It's almost like a study space at that point. I treat it like, okay, you have to be locked into
Yeah,
something.
certain classes for sure.
This class, we may not even be really learning anything.
Yeah,
We're learning something, but it's not really important right now. But I have this assignment due. Let me knock that out because I'm kind of just locked in general.
for sure.
But one thing I did want to touch on is perspectives. We talked about that a little bit.
Let's talk about it.
But changing your perspective on things, I feel like it is almost the key to, not the key to, I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to be, oh, I know the key to life. But
Yeah.
I feel like changing the way we look at things is the real way of like understanding either situations or even other people.
Yeah, it's a start for sure. Like,
Yeah, I feel like nobody can really understand the other person until you like either look into their perspective or change your mindset on how you're like viewing what they're telling you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's some people you may not fully agree with what they say,
Yeah,
but you could be like, oh, why could they? How could you think of something like that? Why are you like this?
Yeah,
But it's something that's like, okay, you were raised like this. You came from here. You got to put that into why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like certain times a lot of people don't put that into the why people are the way that they are,
1000%.
and then kind of just like throw it out there like, oh, no, I can't deal with that person because no, it's just how they were raised. And for those who like are stuck, sometimes we talked about it last episode too, where it's like people get stuck in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get so stuck into your ways to not realize that there's not other perspectives, there's not other ideas, there's not other thoughts. Where it's like
Another gem.
What?
Look at him. I'm telling y'all, he's dropping them today, bro. He came in here on business. No, but I feel you though, bro. I feel you. Keep going.
I had a lot of time to think on that shuttle ride.
Hell yeah.
If you didn't know, I was on the shuttle I was waiting for the shuttle for like 20.
Bro, the shuttle can be.
And then I was waiting on the shuttle for like 10 more.
Yeah.
And the ride was quicker than the whole wait, I think.
I'm sure it was, bro.
Yeah, it was probably
Nobody on the street.
I was already downtown before I knew it.
Yeah, bro. The shuttle drivers, like for those who know, like the shuttle drivers, they have a full shuttle. I'm talking about the shuttle be packed like sardines. They know these kids got to go to class, and he'll like go get a coffee from the basement in Corboy or something. Like
it's down here though.
Yeah.
Over there, they usually locked in and just like going.
That's a fact.
And there's some shuttle drivers. One lady, I don't know her name, but 8:30 in the morning last semester and this semester a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be running. And I'm like the last one on the shuttle. She wait for me at the light and let me get on.
Oh yeah,
I
shout
appreciate
out her,
you so much.
Yeah, shout
You're
out
one of my
her,
favorite people here.
Yeah. Shout out all the shuttle drivers too. By the way, this isn't to be
Yeah.
to be taken.
No,
you know?
definitely. Like
But-
the fact that they get us there to our
Exactly.
location so safely.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel so safe on the.
Yeah.
I basically be falling asleep on the shuttle. If you ever see me fall asleep, don't look at me. Just let me be.
Yeah.
If my mouth starts open when I'm like leaning back like that, don't say nothing. Just let me rock.
Sometimes it be like that though. Like when they dim the lights and it's like dark on Lakeshore Drive. Yeah.
Except for sometimes when they be hitting that break.
Yeah, very true. Very
Y'all
true,
be-
bro.
But yeah, back to perspective. I don't even know where I was at.
You said changing your
But-
perspective.
Oh yeah,
is a great start to like.
oh
changing,
yeah, understanding others and like not getting too stuck into the idea that where you come from is the only way to think about things.
Yeah.
That other people have other like perspectives for other reasons. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like with different issues, with different. I'm not gonna like politic and everything like that, but when it comes to different issues and stuff like that, people have different ideas based off of their perspective. So don't get so caught up in yours that I'm so right on this.
Yeah.
Whatever side you're on, don't get so caught up into that fact without understanding that this person thinks I'm wrong because,
Yeah, definitely.
or this person may be right in this area because they may understand this area more than me.
Yeah.
They have more like
More background.
Yeah.
They've seen more. I definitely I agree with you on that point. I could say like when it comes to people and their perspectives, the way they handle situations, even something as simple as like the stuff they will post on social media, because like social media can be super unserious at times, but there are, you know what I'm saying, I feel like there are aspects where you can kind of like depict the type of person maybe a person can be, or that they, you know what I'm saying, that they will be like in the future. It's definitely to be taken with a grain of salt, but regardless, where I was going with that is like I think about personal timelines a lot and like how people got to that very moment. You know what I'm saying? The situations or the experiences that they could have experienced that are different than mine.
Exactly.
That like, you know what I'm saying, alter your point of view or your, you know what I'm saying, your your like way of life, the way it is you move through day to day.
Yeah.
And like I mean I couldn't agree more. Like when it comes to perspective, bro, you just have to understand that like there's so many different perspectives. It's a difficult idea to grasp that like everybody out there is like living their own life, you know what I'm saying? I feel like as I moved into like a bigger city, that was definitely like something I had to like grasp onto really quick. I feel like
Yeah.
but yeah, it can be something like difficult to mentally manage, especially, you know what I'm saying, when you have like people that are kind of like instilled in your life, people you've known for years. You know what I'm saying? It comes with like just appreciation of taking that person in is like the way they are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And regardless of whether or not they like perspective can be different, it definitely depends on like the perspective and the situation. But like 95% of the time it should never be a deciding factor on whether like, you know, you think this person is a bad person or you think this person is stupid. You know what I'm saying? You just never truly know the experiences that is like that have shaped the person. Like
Yeah. I got a story for you actually
yeah,
with
go ahead.
this.
Tell me.
That probably sounded so loud in the but
Edit it out.
gonna turn down the volume.
Exactly.
See, we really locked in with the whole editing stuff. They don't even know.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like,
we know first video the audio was it was back and forth. We
a
had
little
good times,
shaky.
we had bad times, it was a little shaky.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
one we really locking in. I'm not guaranteeing.
Oh,
Because we
God.
still gotta listen to this back.
True.
But we locking in more and more every single video. So
yeah. Yeah.
But-
We can only get better. I was
exactly.
telling Cam
Only
that.
up from here.
Yeah.
Only up from here. So that means tune in to the second video too.
Exactly.
Even if you just because you tuned in for the first one, don't mean don't tune in for the second.
Yeah.
Tune in for the second.
I think the second half is a little better, by the way.
Second half. Well,
Yeah.
they probably gonna see the second half by then. They probably gonna see the poll. We putting up the poll.
Yeah.
They for sure gonna see the poll. I'm gonna win the poll.
Oh yeah, you know, you like I said, you might win it, but I'm not the only person out there that does that. But
Yeah.
regardless,
I don't think anybody who's watching the video is gonna say I do that too. If they do, don't lie. Don't lie.
I had made some cereal like maybe at like 2 a.m. a couple nights ago, and my roommate seen me put ice in my cereal. I think I sent you a picture of it, the honeycombs.
Yeah.
He
And
was
I had
like-
cereal that night too.
I know,
that
that
was
crazy?
hilarious.
So I tell bro, I'm like, yeah, like bro, if you ever get the chance, put two or three ice cubes in your cereal, bro, and see how it changes. See how it changes your life. And he was like, all right, man, I'll try it. So I'll let you know his experience on his first bowl of cereal with ice too. But I promise you, he's gonna enjoy it. He's an avid cereal eater too, by
Okay.
the way. So if he tells me it's pointless, I'm just gonna have to take my opinion to the grave, bro.
You
have
can't
to.
change your ways.
Yeah,
And from your perspective, you tried it. You tried it,
Bro,
And in your perspective, that was a real good idea, and I can't judge you for that at all.
But you are though.
I mean, I'm gonna judge you a little. That's the one thing. One thing I'm gonna say. Hey, I'm not gonna be one of those people that say, "Oh, I'm not gonna judge anybody." I'm gonna judge you a little bit, but I'm not gonna treat you differently because I judge you.
Yeah.
But all right,
I feel like that's a good breakdown.
that's the thing. Like I'm like my best friends, we judge each other all the time.
Yeah.
I love them dudes to death though. Like
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Me too.
Like my sister, my family, we all judge each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything, but we gonna judge each other.
Judge, crack jokes.
We still appreciate each other and treat each other with respect and still like love each other.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. We can get into that more later. But I do want to get out this story about just perspectives. So my senior year, I think I may have told you this already, but my senior year went on a government trip for class, and we went to D.C. I'm coming from California, and they took kids from California, they took kids from Georgia, they took kids from Louisiana, they took kids from Texas. So you got mainly the kids were from Texas and California.
Okay.
Those are the largest like groupings.
Yeah.
So you put a whole bunch of kids from those two states and tell them to talk politics. And let's see where this goes.
Yeah, it probably got shaky for sure.
That's something. But for me, I went into that trip. One, I was taking the class just to take the class. I was taking the trip just to go to DC.
Yeah, politics was probably like
it was literally something I had to take. So I was like, all right, I'll go on this trip. That'd be fun. That's why I took that class specifically. It was like I get to visit DC. And go. It would be fun
for sure.
It definitely was fun. But one thing though was being there when I first went. I was like, I'm not even gonna talk politics with anybody. I'm here just to enjoy my trip.
Literally.
And that was how I came about it. But there were people there ready to talk politics. Kid in a suit. Everybody else is in regular street clothes. He was in a suit, had his watch, timing everybody on what they said, but ready to talk politics.
Why can I see this guy in my head already, though? Like,
okay. Hey, but the thing was, you had floors. We were all in a hotel, and it was floors separated, like guys and girls, stuff like that. But in my room, it was me. My friend was coming too, but he was coming a day later. But it was me and then 2 kids from Texas first day. Meet them. So what's up? We did not talk politics at all. We were just talking about life. Yeah. We were understanding each other as people. And it was like, we all started getting along. We started laughing, joking. And I was like, this is cool. Yeah. These random dudes I just met. And it was like, okay, we all get along. We all like joking, laughing, have similar humor. Yeah. And the one that I would say probably made it different than everybody else's experience. These dudes went to the same school, but they didn't know each other because how like the school was. Yeah. So they were kind of just meeting too. Yeah. But second day, my friend came, and he was right along with us, and it was literally just the 4 of us the whole trip, just like laughing, joking, enjoying our time in DC. Yeah. Sometimes there was the political conversations that they made us have in big groups and stuff like that.
Like y'all were in DC.
Yeah, you know? We came back to the room, and sometimes we talk about some stuff just a little bit, understand each other. But one thing was, I can tell we were so much more into it on listening to each other because we already got to know each other a little bit as people. Yeah. And seeing that, they came from a town where it was like, no homeless people. Yeah. No, you knew everybody in the town kind of thing. Yeah. But us, we were coming from Oakland and San Francisco. There's Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah. There's so many people that are unhoused right now. It's sad to see, but we have that perspective. So we're more like, when it comes to certain conversations on that, we're way more into it. Like, we see it's more a priority, I guess, for us.
You've seen it more like firsthand, you know?
Yeah, because that's our perspective, and that's where we come from. Yeah. So when it came to where they came from, and when we heard that they said, yeah, I've never seen a homeless person even in our town.
Is that kind of ridiculous?
I was like, that's so, but they're small. Their town was so small, and they all went to the same high school kind of thing. And it was like, okay, I understand, like, the differences now and where people are from really changes. But with that as well, one thing that I found out was universal, regardless of where you come from. Joy, happiness, that stuff is like, regardless. Yeah. If you can laugh and joke with somebody, regardless of where they're from, it doesn't matter. Yeah. There's always something you can relate with somebody on. For sure. And there's like good, wholesome, just like fun. Yeah. That regardless of where somebody's from, it just all can relate. Yeah. So my trip ended up being a lot better than other people's.
Yeah. I could already.
Some people, they was about to have like fights with their roommates and stuff. Yeah. But that was my story with like perspective that really, I think, made me think a lot and changed how I thought about just like life in general. And when it comes to people disagreeing about stuff, you got to understand the person. You got to understand who they are. If you don't like somebody for the person they are, I can't really fault you. Like, if you really got to know that person and they really did something wrong or you really don't like them, I can't fault you for that. Yeah. But if there's something that a thought that they have, an idea, or just like a way that they think in the like a perspective. They have a perspective that you completely say, oh, I don't like this person because they have this opinion is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. They have an opinion about this. If you didn't get to know that person and see why, and it wasn't rooted in a place of, oh, they're a bad person, they're like, they come from, they have ill will. Yeah. They have malintent for doing this, then you can't really hate that person. You can't really dislike that person.
Yeah.
You got to understand who that person is.
They're being authentic.
Yeah.
And I feel like whether you like a person or not, like you don't really have to like an authentic person. Given like the level of authenticity they show, like if they're just like honestly, if they're just like a straight up asshole, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case, you know, you can respect the fact that they speak their mind. You can stay far away from that person because of how they feel.
Exactly.
And, I mean, because of how they make you feel, but you can't, like you say, you can't really fault anybody for being authentic. I feel like that's definitely facts.
But if they crazy or bad person,
For sure.
that's the other situation. Those are obvious. Don't like
Yeah.
that person. But if it's something like, oh, this person has this opinion.
Yeah, it's all like I feel like it's all situational too. Like it depends on the situation, the events that led up to the situation. Another thing I wanted to talk about that you just mentioned was like, let's say you just so happen to encounter a person that's never seen like a homeless person. You say like you be in Oakland and the Bay, and like we're in Chicago, we see people who are homeless all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not necessarily a new aspect for us, but a lot of things that I be thinking about when it comes to people's personal timelines is like their situations that they've went through or that they haven't went through that they have no control over. You know what I'm saying? They live in this small town that don't, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't possess homeless people because their parents moved there, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case. Like, so I feel like that's like that's a key opportunity in a sense to educate somebody, you know what I'm saying, not necessarily belittle them for the things that they don't know, but educate them, you know what I'm saying, on the things that you feel like they should. And like you said, bro, you talked to two kids from Texas that probably, you know what I'm saying, had a totally different aspect or perspective of life on you, but there is always going to be connection. You also said like the idea of you being universal. When it comes to like being universal, you just have to understand that like a lot of the things that go on in today's day and age are like literally like the same type of situations, just a different side of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot about that when it comes to like race and ethnicity. The idea of, you know what I'm saying, like in Chicago, there can be like a very like deeply rooted stigmatism when it comes to like black versus Hispanic, or like Hispanic neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, white neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like going into a Hispanic neighborhood and going to a black neighborhood, like within Chicago, at times, you know what I'm saying, it can be similar. You got laundromat, you got a store, you know what I'm saying, you got daily things that people use, and I feel like there's a beauty in, you know what I'm saying, that universality right there. Just understanding that, like, you know what I'm saying, like these people are different than us, but in a sense they kind of live the same, you know what I'm saying? Simple, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Simple access to, you know what I'm saying, like something as simple as like a produce market or whatever the case. Like, we go through the same motions, but it's a matter of like expectations, like societal expectations. There's like government expectations. There's a bunch of things that get in the way of us, you know, seeing that universality, like people being blinded by things like news. There's propaganda in the news. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the idea of stigmatism, there's racial profiling. You know what I'm saying? The way they make like black males look on the news, the way they make immigrants look on the news. You know what I'm saying? It's all in a sense can be a tactic to divide like each other. You know,
division is so huge. Right now.
It can be used as a tactic to divide, and just having grasp that, you know what I'm saying, the world can, in a sense, move in that way. The world can have like ill intent and malicious intent sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like to the powers that be, like whatever. But like if you have like a grasp of, you know what I'm saying, that aspect, and you know what I'm saying, there are like things that are put into place for you to feel the way that you're supposed to feel about said demographics, said like, you know what I'm saying? It can be really eye-opening, and it can also like show you the like you said, the beauty in being universal. There's so many things that different groups go through, you know, in the same aspect that we may not be sure of, because like I said, it can be times where the tactic is to divide.